Beauty shines from within, and even though you may not see it yourself, the people around you will.
This is 32-year-old model Hannah, and this is her first ever runway show.
What did it feel like that first walk, though, down the catwalk?
It was special, it really was. It felt like I was meant to be doing this.
Hannah signed up to Diversity Models earlier this year. Founded in 2022, it prides itself on being the country's first agency for models with disabilities.
What makes a model?
What makes a model? You know, once upon a time it was an elite group of people, but these days it's not about looks, it's about the glow from within, the features, the uniqueness, and, you know, what makes a person a person.
1 in 5 Australians live with a disability, but Monique Jeremiah, founder of Diversity Models, says the fashion industry has been slow to embrace models who reflect that.
We found that designers didn't want to be a part of inclusive, disability-friendly fashion.
For decades, the fashion world glorified thin, able-bodied, mostly white models. But recent backlash has forced the industry to make a powerful shift towards inclusiveness. Even the famous Victoria's Secret fashion show was forced underground, returning recently after a 6-year hiatus with an attempted rebrand. The catwalk once felt out of reach for Hannah, whose disabilities make her day-to-day life difficult.
I have complex PTSD, generalised anxiety disorder and major depression as well. I have functional neurological disorder, I have chronic migraine, and I have cervical dystonia.
How do you find that your conditions, how do they affect you in everyday life?
I'm on a lot of medication just to be able to sit up and do this. Some days, even with all the medications, I'm in a dark room, just sleeping, not doing anything, trying to minimise my stimulation.
You describe parts of your childhood, parts of your life as gnarly.
Yes.
Why? Why was it?
I grew up in a violent and abusive household. At 13, I lost my dad to a tractor accident, and where I lived was very unsteady, and I ended up going into state care at 14.
What do you think it would have meant to you growing up if you could have seen in that modelling space someone like yourself?
I mean, it would be amazing. I think it would have been more realistic, to be honest. It would have shown that no matter who you are, where you're from, what your background is, your socio-economic class, that it's achievable. It really is.
52-year-old Mia Wallace is another model in the agency.
What was going through my mind was, am I really doing this? Yes, I am. Modelling has opened up a whole new world, literally.
Mia was born with osteogenesis imperfecta, otherwise known as brittle bones.
I was born straight away with a broken leg and arm, and to date, I've had 150 fractures. Growing up with OI, primary school was incredibly hard. There was a lot of bullying. There was no inclusiveness as there is now.
As a kid, Mia spent a lot of time going in and out of hospital.
That was a lot as a child. A lot of my parents, a lot of my sibling, and the rest of the family.
And it's a struggle that's continued into adulthood.
I've been looking now for employment for over, 6, 7 years. Employers just hear wheelchair or they see wheelchair. They don't look beyond this. So I needed to find something else. I needed to find myself.
So she's giving modelling a go with the support of her husband, Troy.
I didn't even think I'd be doing modelling, let alone a fashion show. I want to represent others with a disability. That's it.
Other models with disabilities have recently begun to carve out a name for themselves. Madeline Stewart has Down syndrome and has been in high demand by fashion brands, even walking the catwalks in New York, Paris and London.
Practical advice for me now for when you do a photo shoot.
Yes.
What do you tell yourself to not be awkward? Because I've done some and I am the most awkward turtle person that there is. What do you do with your hands?
So be awkward, be that person. It's not a problem. Make sure you're always doing something with your hands.
Okay, this is good. This is good for me because I'll look back at photos and I'm the claw. I'm like, what am I doing?
Hey, maybe you can make a claw look, you know, maybe you can enhance it and, you know, be like...
I like it. I like it.
Hannah and Mia both hope the mainstream fashion industry is taking notes.
Be more inclusive for people, maybe think outside the box, and don't be scared, because I'm really looking forward to this ride.
The more diversity that we get within organisations and brands, the more people who may not have a voice start to feel accepted. As long as I can help somebody else, then I'm doing my part.
It will shock literally no one that I'm crying, but just to see little Mia and little Hannah and the lives that they had and to see where they've come and how brave that journey is. Yeah. Also, they're incredibly beautiful. If you're watching, we think you're amazing. But I love the idea of, like, embracing the claw. I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Literally, look at me right now. I've literally got claws out right now. But yeah, honestly, it was such a wonderful chat with Hannah, and I just love the communities that they've been able to find. Brilliant. And I think it's such an odd space for you to think about them finding acceptance in the modelling industry.
How empowering. I totally agree with that. And you are very disarming, brilliant.
Yeah,
I have to say, I was watching that thinking, that was brilliant.
Oh, thank you.